Hello everyone, this is Terry. Welcome to my YouTube channel Amethystastrotarot. I'm a practicing astrologer and a tarot reader, and today's video is about the second decan of Virgo in my series One Decan, One Card and One Chart. And let's have a look today what I'm going to be talking about. Hopefully I will be sharing really hallelujah, because last time it didn't happen like this. So we are talking about the second decan of Virgo, because Sun is going through the second 10 degrees of the mutable earth sign Virgo. And as we know, the traditional ruler of Virgo is Mercury, which is at the time of this video, Mercury is actually going through the sign of Virgo, where it is the ruler and also it's exalted. It's a wonderful place for Mercury. It's like I think a wonderful moment at the moment, and I would be having my Mercury return as well. Having said that, all in the second decan of Virgo, the decan rulers, according to the Chaldean or descending order, is Venus, because as we will recall, in the first decan it's the Sun, and after the Sun, according to the speed, the Venus comes. And according to the triplicity, since the Virgo is a earth sign, and the next earth sign that comes after Virgo is Capricorn, and the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. So according to the triplicity order, we have the Saturn as the decan ruler, and we have this wonderful, the Nine of Pentacles as the Minor Arcana card associated with the second decan of Virgo. And we have the famous, very talented singer, I think musician, artist, we can call her all, and Pink, as she has her Sun in the second decan of Virgo. And also, I mean, we are going to see, I mean, her chart, I mean, she doesn't have the exact, I think, birth time. So this is only based on her birth date. But we will still look at the her Sun through the decans of the Virgo. So I will stop sharing and we will go back to now the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is really, I will close this and open up this one. Nine of Pentacles is a really interesting card, I should say. And when we are thinking about the Venus in Virgo, which is supposed to be in fall, as Venus is exalted in Pisces, and Saturn and Virgo, which I can tell from experience, as I have Saturn and Virgo. But we are talking about, actually, when we are thinking the Eight of Pentacles, you know, that process, like either whether you call it apprenticeship, whether you call it like working hard or doing the same thing, the routine, the ritual, or putting things in order, and like creating something non-stop. I mean, all of them together after the Eight of Pentacles. I mean, like, because you are, like, I think, working hard because you want also things to pay off, no? I mean, all those routines that you are part of, which could be sometimes become really boring, because if you continue doing the same thing and then in the end you don't get results, it could be disappointing and boring at the same time. And when we come to Nine of Pentacles, we completely see another scenario here. No, there is this, I mean, there are lots of, I mean, of course, symbolism. I think this is a very rich card in terms of symbolism, from the I mean, the dress of the person, and then this is a hawk, or I don't know, they are falcon. I mean, I think different sources say different things, but they think that like to be carrying this falcon, etc., in your garden, all in that thing that you should be already at a certain level and you are enjoying your time. So in a way, when we are thinking about uh, when Venus in Virgo, I think appreciating in a way that that service, what came, I think, as a result of the service and the things that you have done, maybe that routine or that hard work that gave off. And but when we think about Saturn in Virgo, we can still think about like also keeping yourself within the reality and keeping yourself still structured and in a certain structure, in a certain limit, uh, because at the end of the day, you get that structure and order. The limit. The maybe you can put your borders or boundaries, etc., like that by being organized, by being efficient, by being practical, and by being, like, in a way, I think there's a kind of a perfect scene here. But I sometimes see in this card, it's like, yes, there's also a small snail here always that is going slowly, slowly, slowly somewhere. It's, I think, part of the hard work that comes through the Saturn as well, maybe. Like you have a path and you really work hard, you stay in certain um, discipline, in a discipline to achieve this perfection. Maybe that's, I think, that could be that symbol as well. Also the when we think about the path that the snail lives when it is moving, I think that's also the silver path that always amazes me, and it's really interesting, as if when you are doing something, you are also letting others follow that work or admire that work. I think admiration could be related to Venus as well. In that sense, Venus in Virgo, why it is seem to be in fall. I think it's always like how we value things, how we relate to people. Is not like that we see, there's not like that emotional love, but it's more practical love. I always give this example, is like maybe Venus in Virgo, um, instead of like compared to Venus in Pisces, maybe writing a poetry or something like that, and through that they will show you love, or buying you flowers. Venus in Virgo probably will go and put your shelves, like a library or whatever, in order, and or cook you some food or something like that, so that that will be a way of showing love, maybe not with words but with the practical actions in a way. So in that sense, we only that, when I'm thinking Venus in Virgo, in that sense, how does it go here? I think it's like, in a way, that the person here is very elegant, very everything, but there is more, the stand is like there's something, uh, I don't know how to explain that. It's hard to explain that. There's something uh, lonely, or in a way uh, detached, or some kind of not emotionally connected way. I don't say that I'm as a Virgo that there is emotional part missing, but there is more like to do things in a more efficient way, as I said, a practical way, so that you will be sometimes stripped of all the feelings. That kind of thing is, I think, coming through this. And also, I think the Saturn could be related with authority. So in that sense, I think we can see that authority in her stand as well. It's a really interesting card. I think it's sometimes really you can talk about these cards and the way that what they represent a lot. But I very much, some of the times I find this, I mean, all the Nine of Pentacles could be about the wealth, the way that she stands as well. All these values and the result of maybe hard work and everything is there, and maybe they might be representing something like really uh, perfection. I mean, like those that level of perfection, and uh, um, but on the other hand, there is still something. Um, what is the uh, worth? I mean, what was it worth all this perfection? Why is she lonely? Why is she standing like that? And how, I mean, like, did she get this authority? And at the end of the day, is she happy to be here? And everything. I think lots of questions are coming to my mind at the end of the day with this card. And as I always say, it's like we always have to look at the cards and in the within the context with the surrounding cards, what the question is, how the querent is, and like how do they relate to their question or relate to this card, etc., etc. Now I will stop sharing with the Nine of Pentacles, and let's have a look at the uh, chart of Pink. So Pink was born on the 8th of September. This is us from astro.com. It's not an advertisement. It's only where I get I have to tell the source of the chart. Pink was born 8th of September 1979 in Doylestown, Franklin County, United States of America. And let's zoom in. Okay. So we see her sun in the 15 degrees 24 minutes, and it's in the within the second 10 degrees of the sign of Virgo. And we see that she has naturally have Saturn in Virgo and also Venus in Virgo and also Mercury in Virgo. They make this huge stellium of Virgo, and they're all disposed by the Mercury in Virgo. And it's like, I mean, it's within her. I mean, this we say that as decan rulers, Venus, Saturn, it's there. I mean, it's part of her. I mean, like at least her birth moment, the foundation of her life is all there. I mean, and we can see that, especially this upcoming eclipse on the 7th of September, which would be on the actually 15 degrees 24 minutes of Virgo. I will just check because last night I was writing the technical parts, and I'm sure that it should be 15 minutes 24 degrees of Virgo. So I mean, as I already explained, the Venus and Saturn in that sense, and I think the Sun in Virgo, in the conscious level, we can think that, I mean, like in her identity, etc., we can always see this structure. I mean, or the to achieve, to shine with your perfection, to shine with your practicality, to shine with this efficient kind of things. Sometimes overthinking, of course, with all these Virgo placements, there could be quite overthinking. Sometimes even, I mean, like, even you try to do things in the best way, there can be self-doubt. I mean, there could be a lot of self-doubt if I'm doing it right, because there is always this, I think, worry, like, not to do things wrong. So the moment that you think that things might be going, you may start self-doubting. Okay, am I really doing wrong? Can it be really good or something like that? So I think that that kind of internal dilemma could be in her identity, and her moon seems to be in Aries, and according to the time, it would be still in Aries. Maybe only the degree might change, but looking at that, actually, I mean, in terms of when we think about the traditional uh, planets, we can see that she is quite a uh, earthy, and also uh, more mutable things. I mean, I think she could adapt to changes easily, and could be more flexible. And I think the only interesting thing is that she doesn't have really, except Jupiter, much placement in fixed signs. So I wonder if sometimes she might have um, challenges in keeping things as they are, or may keeping these things as stable as they are, or like just being stable, I mean, grounded at some point. Though, I mean, through the earth, I mean, like, we can more like quality, we can see the grounding and all that stability and practicality, but in terms of action, the mode, etc., I wonder if there could be anything related with that. And of course, I think that her, I think, inner world, the way that, at least in her songs and in her, I mean, in her stage performance, when you look at her live performances, etc. I have never been to a concert of her, but I listen to her music quite a lot, and you can see that that fiery thing inside her, all that feelings and that kind of emotions, like this being uh, reflected out. And interestingly, actually, I mean, like, her Mars is in Cancer, which is also fall, and the moon is in Aries, so they are actually receiving each other in a way, because Mars is the ruler of Aries, and moon is the ruler of the Cancer. So in that sense, I think uh, with the current situation, um, that we I think most interesting thing for me is this, um, the eclipse happening exactly on her sun. So during the eclipse, I mean, that the moon in Pisces would be like opposing in the other side of the sky, her sun. And also, I think, although all the nodal axis, in a way, I mean, if we are thinking about that, that life journey, etc., would be having a quite impact on her. So, and it would be, I mean, like, if you are looking like more or less 2 degrees aside, I mean, it would have an impact on her Saturn in Virgo as well. Some people might even include the Venus, but I always find quite Venus and Mercury. I would find it quite large orbs, but wide orbs. But I'm it's thinking that that in a way, in terms of her identity, who she is, where she is at the moment, how she's reflecting herself, things might have a turn, might change, uh, depending. I mean, like in the sense that I mean, she might um, maybe either come to a completion with certain things in her life, and that would be that and that could be, I mean, at the end of the day, it could be things that were coming from her past, coming from her, I mean, experiences of the birth and everything. And I think that could be the point that could come to a real completion, which would directly impact who she is. I mean, like, because it depends how you, I mean, identify yourself. I mean, like the other day I was talking to my friend Alison, and that she had been to a workshop, and they were asking who are you mostly. And I think it's something that about Pink could be who is she mostly, and that could um, be impacted during this eclipse, and this is could be very impactful. And I don't know, I mean, like, I should go back to 2006, 19 years ago, where she was, and how she got impacted again. It was around these degrees as well, and probably impacting her in a way, and where she could be from the moment of the eclipse. Maybe things are already growing, and in a maybe 3 to 6 months time, that could be interesting to follow up, especially seeing that the uh, her sun is the same as the eclipse degree. I think that would be all. Again, I just talk so much about the Pink's chart. I mean, I generally look, I mean, I don't look in advance. I only look, what I look at is their sun degrees to make sure that it's in the right decan. But it's quite interesting. I mean, like, we'll see how the things will unfold for Pink. So that would be that for me today, and hope to see you in the third decan of Virgo. And the card would be the minor arcana associated with the third decan of Virgo is Ten of Pentacles, and the chart would be the Great Sophia Lawrence chart. So we will have a look at that in like 10 days time, probably, or less than 10 days. All the best. Bye bye.